Right, hello everyone, welcome to HRF1 Sunday nights, round 5 of the season. We are at the brand new Miami track. What do people think? Do you like the track? Do you not like the track? I can't say I'm a fan. Another street track, another American track. It's just, yeah, I'm not a fan, but I don't know, maybe you guys are. But, in a way, we head into, it's a short qualifying followed by 50% race. At the moment, just the 11 drivers on the grid. I'm not sure why that is. It's oh, it does look like a support sign up this week. Disappointing. Okay, right, well I'm going to get the stream open myself a second while we're waiting for these guys to do their outlaps. Are we on the right driver? No, I think if we go to Chris X, so he's the first out on track, and be first to do a hot lap and give us a sort of target time for the rest. Just going to share the stream a second and get that out of the way, and then I can fully concentrate on what's happening. Just pop that in there. There we are. That's done. Just put, oops. Right, here we go. Finished. Excellent, that's all done. Right, let's get to the stream then. Concentrate on this. So, say Chris, first onto a lap, complete set to 1:31.161. Heads down the first DRS straights towards this, can only call difficult, sort of intricate series of corners. Pretty nicely, it's got to be said, and is out onto the huge long straight that heads down to the what is effectively the final corner. There is technically a couple of corners after, but they're both just flat out and across the line. So here he comes, then heavy braking down to second. And he comes, looks like a pretty good opening lap, to be fair, from Chris. 1:29.5 sounds decent to me. Who's this? This is Small Loss. It's line on a 31.0. P2 for the moment. So Haas heading for the line. No, Haas is heading into the pits, my apologies. Aston Martin then, who's come on, there's only one driver's going to take that one to get to him. Sam, 29.503 goes provisional pole by 0.02 of a second over Chris. Daguna, 47.8, so clearly not a proper lap there. Same for Swanee actually, 47.6. KK, no, he's on the start of the straight, so let's go to his teammate Hunter. Let's just Around to complete his lap. It looks like a handy lap as well, actually. So it's a 29:30.5. It's in P3. Let's go to Carlton King then, who's just going into that final corner. Again, looks like it's going to be a decent lap from KK. Crosses the line, 29.7, puts him P3, very close to the lead 2. Currently, Whoopi, Junkie Emperor and Big Willie are all in the pits. All capable of high qualifying positions, so Chris crosses the line. I assume he's looking to go again as he stayed out. This track will take an awful lot out of the soft tyres, so I'm not sure he's going to be able to improve. Well, he's round in a way. Luckily, no cars on the way round. Okay, what's Sam doing? He's invalidated in a way. What's he doing? He's coming into the pits. Well, let's go to Daguna then. So I'd imagine... Right, Daguna goes fastest, 29.290. Swanee is not on a proper lap again. Actually, just bailed out now, surely, and just pit. Yeah, he does indeed. Enters the pit lane. So, Big Willie's on an outlap. He's just coming onto the large straight. Imagine anyone else is going again. Chris, we thought might be because he went round again, but no. So, he's definitely not. So, I think it's the case now then of just way of Big Willie Fitz who's on an outlap in a way, so no real need, but wouldn't have known that. Let's go with Big Willie then as he starts his first hot lap of the day. All neat and tidy so far through the first sector. It's out of the hard brake down into third. Gets on the power, 30.7 through the first sector. Seems pretty good to me. Maybe low on drivers tonight with the 11, but we've got a very close grid looking through. So it could be an outstanding race that we got on our hands. These drivers are very, very close. This could give us the race we'd like. Big Willie through the difficult, intricate series of corners, out onto the long straights. And it seems like he's going pretty well at the moment. It's all looking neat and tidy. I think he might be challenging for a top 4 position here with this lap. I'm wrong about top 4. He's going to go pole, provisional pole, isn't he? Yeah, 29.156. Nice lap from Big Willie Fitz. Everybody else on hot laps. Leonidas just crossed the line actually. He's gone 130.4 into P6 in the Williams. Junkie is out now on an outlap, and Leonidas spins it. Not on the lap, definitely not on the lap. Ferrari crossed the lap, so Junkie Emperor then is next to do a lap. Run aboard and watch a lap of Miami Street Circuit. Long corner. You need to get in tight to the corner so you can get the exit speed for the straight. It's the most important thing about the corner. It's not about the late braking so much, it's much more about the exit. Down the straight as we head into these more intricate parts of the track. This bit here, how difficult is that? And completely blind as well when you're actually in the car if you use cockpit mode like I do. completely blind. Into the long straight, opens up the DRS. Again, it's been a pretty tidy lap from Junkie. I don't think it's the fastest he can do, but it's decent, that's for sure. Compared to the line then, it seems to take an age for the line to come round, and it's a 30 flat, so put some P6 for the moment. Let's get out of that cockpit view because that was unbelievably loud in my ears. Chris started a lap. Whoopi came back into the pits, like completing his lap. I think we'll stick with Chris for now. He's a 10th up in the first sector. Again, looking pretty good, looking pretty tidy. I'd say lap times are impressive so far at the top, but they're good through the field. Here comes then out into the straight. So, sorry, I just missed the split time then. I think he was still improving. It wasn't purple, so there's the final sector is effectively this corner, and that's it, 'cause it's just one long straight. Oh, he's had a moment. It's probably going to wreck his time. It is indeed. He crosses the line 1.3 seconds down. It really hurt his time in the end. Carton King 4 attempts up. Just coming into this difficult few corners and out onto the straight. What is he through sector 2? He's half a second up. This is aiming for a 29.2 as the Gooner goes fastest again with a 28.7 this time. Highly impressive lap times now. Okay, into the final corner. He was on for a 29.2. Did he make anything else up in the final sector? He did. He gained another half a tenth. It's a 29.166. Puts in P3 for the moment. Let's go to Chris. No, he's down. Swanee has only just improved, so he's done a 30.3. Hunter not improving. Whoopi on an outlap. He's just crossing the line, so let's see Whoopi's first. Well, it's his second attempt technically. He has been out before, but let's give it another go. Oh, Whoopi's just. I didn't notice he's put a message in saying his controller keeps disconnecting, even though it's fully charged. And he went into a wall. It's a pain. I know if that happens for someone with a wheel, that we would say to come out of the game, even switch your Xbox off and on again. But whether it'd do the same with a pad, I'm not sure. Here goes through this difficult second sector. I'm not sure what actual time he needs to be sort of setting around here. On the second sector, 103.3 that is. So let's see what he heads to. I think for me, Miami is another track. Even though it's got long straights in it, it's still a. I do think it's another track. It is a bit more difficult for pad players. I certainly find that. He's heading for the line. It looks like a good time. Got to give it to him. This could be pole. It's 28.6. He does go provisional pole. Chris is still out on track. He's improving. He's 4.5 attempts up in the second sector. As he heads down the straight, so 4.5 attempts would move him up to P3, just ahead of Big Willie. And crosses the line, does go into P3 on a 29.031. So good lap there from Chris. We've got some guys on outlap. Sam, is that coming round to start? Oh no, he's into the pits. Early on in his outlap. Leonidas also early on in his outlap. So I don't think we got any laps going on at the moment. That improvement from Chris was his last lap, not this one. So, see, not pushing. So, I think then that Hunter will be the next to start a lap. So we may as well go to the Red Bull man, the boss man. May well be giving a bit of a kick up the bum to the 9 drivers that haven't turned up tonight. He won't be happy. To the boss man, also Big Willie and King, I believe, are also the boss men, as far as I know. So across the line comes Hunter to start what will be his final lap. He has a tiny bit of time, so if he makes a mistake, he wouldn't be able to do it, but if he does make a mistake, he would be able to get back round as long as he doesn't drive too slowly. But, hopefully he won't make a mistake. Let's see what he's like through sector 1. Just round the left-hander now. Breaks it down. Comes through nicely, on the power nicely. I think he's going to be up, is he? Oh, he's just down 17 thousandths of a second. It's not even a blink of an eye. So Whoopi retires from the session. Will he hold on to that pole position? Into these intricate corners. Oh, and he's given up on it. But he doesn't. He needs to. Oh, well, he wants to let these cars through, but it may stop him getting over the line. Is his problem? He needs to move. Yeah, that's probably too long. I don't think he'll make it. Who was that then? That was Sam. So, oh no, Sam's still on an outlap. Who's the Haas? That would be big. Well, he's on an outlap as well. So, Leonidas is improving massively. 1.1 up in the second sector. 29.3 would see him jump up to P6. It's a 29.1. He jumps up to P4. That's a very fine lap from Leonidas. Well done. There's this Junkie's into the pits. He's not going to improve. That's... Well... Oh, he hasn't got front wing. That'll be a disappointment for Junkie Emperor. And... reality kicks in for Hunter, that having to let those cars through has stops him getting another lap in. Small loss then coming out to sector 2, 5.5 temps up. That's going to challenge Hunter. It could challenge Swanee for P9. It's going to be tight. Gunnar is also on a lap, so we'll switch it after Small loss crosses the line. So Small loss heads to the line. It's going to be a 130.2. Does put him P9 ahead of Swanee. Let's move then to Gunnar. Slightly up in sector 2. It's enough. Well, he's invalidated. It would have been enough. Yeah, he would have taken pole position, the Gunnar. But, to say, invalidates. And then, haven't got a split time. We'll just see what he is when he crosses the line. Looks pretty decent. It is decent. It's 29.3. Don't know what that moved him up to. P7. I think it stayed P7 then. This time the final run. Oh well. Yeah, unlucky Chris. But well done, Whoopi, on the pole position. Indeed, may only need to run. Although the Gunnar did go faster there on that invalidated lap at the end. So he had it in him. But that hopefully will show us good race on our hands, and I really do think we got a good race. We may be low on numbers, but I think we've got a great grid of drivers that can really fight each other here. so sort of 7's covered by 7 tenths. And the likes of Junkie, Smalloss, Swanee and Hunter can go quicker than they did, so it's a very close field. I really hope we're taking a break. Please don't anybody ready up. I've literally been doing comms for 2 hours straight. I would really like a short break, so just bear with me, guys. I'll be back shortly for the formation lap. See you in a moment. Right, much happier commentator now. I've refilled my coffee. So I think we're in for a close one here. It's going to be interesting to see a race. It's the first race I've... Hang on, is it the first race I've commentated? No, it's not the first. We did a pre-season race, didn't we, at Miami, which I commentated. So it's not the first. Whoopi said he had a couple more attempts and that just didn't have enough time to go out again. Well, that's your fault for buying a cheap controller. I'm only joking. Chris, some of us have less talent. Yep, yeah, I'm one of those, mate, so don't worry about that. Although I did get one over on Whoopi last night. I did finish higher than him last night, so I gotta get that in. Sorry, Whoopi, but I gotta get that in while I can. So you start dominating me every week. Sorry, coughing. Right, I think we're nearly there. Just have a quick look in the... Have a quick nose in the Discord, see if anything's going on, if anything's been said. I like to nose in the Discord. Big Fitz asking where his teammate is. Oh, Big Fitz. All lonely out there. It does have to be said, it is disappointing. I can't. I mean, like Lance, Big Fitz, and Curtin King, and that. I'm admin elsewhere. I've run my own league before. I've done all of it, and it is so dejecting when you set all this up, and then people can't even be bothered to mark whether they're going to race or not. there is nothing more dejecting than that. At least if they said that they're not going to race, you know, and you can try and get cover. But when they just don't bother, it is really dejecting. And I hope it doesn't affect Lance and Fitz and Carton King and that too much. So let's move on, get another advert out there and get some more reliable drivers in, I guess. That's the only thing you can try and do. But as I said though, even with a short grid tonight, I do think this is going to be a fantastic race. I just hope we don't have any first lap incidents and everybody is safe. So just trying to sort my heads out, it's got a bit twisted around. Right then, so quick gander at the tyres then. So we got Whoopi in pole is on the hards, so the Gooner is going to, after having seen that, the Gooner is going to really want to try and get off the line well as he starts on the mediums. KK on the hards as well, Chris on the mediums, Leonidas, Big Willie, Sam and Junkie all hard as well. Smallos is on softs, Die Hard, Swanee in hards, and Hunter's gone for the softs. Should have stopped at Big Willie there, shouldn't I? That would have been the comment of the day. Big Willie is hard. I feel sorry for Leonidas. He's got Big Willie on his back. All over the back of him. So, interesting from Hunter and Smallos that they've gone for soft tyres. Probably expect them in around about lap 6 or 7. They won't last long in this Miami heat. But, you might see them get them off the line pretty well though. So, it is going to be interesting to see if the Gooner can get the move done into turn 1. Desperate to get off the line well. You can see really trying to heat his tyres up. He knows he's got an opportunity. So, thank you by the way to those of you out there watching. Predicted strategy then, hard to medium. Or medium to hard, depending on what you're starting on. Can I have a better view, Cody's? No, you can't, Grey Hilly. So, Whoopi off the line. Looked like he got a decent start, but look at the extra grip that the Gooner has on the mediums. They're side by side into turn 1. Ferrari runs wide. Not the Gooner though, and it looks like he might have this. Oh, there's a tiniest bit of contact. And it was enough just to send the Gooner round. He's hit the wall with his front wing. I don't know if there's any damage. Takes off the track there. I think he just needing to get himself sort of settled a bit. It's hard to say. I can't see any obvious wing damage. But at the same time, he looks like he's struggling a bit. So, they're free side by side here. It's just the Gooner, Big Willie and Smallos. Oh dear. We're going a bit wrong. The Gooner continues to get swamped. I really don't know whether he's maybe got some sort of other damage to the car or whether he's just struggling to get hold of the tyres since the spin. But regardless, we won't continue on going on about the same thing. Let's go to Smallos, who's looking at Carton King here. Carton King moves to the inside to defend. Smallos may look to cut back. He does indeed. And I think he's got him. What a move by Smallos on Carton King. Fantastic move. Into the pits comes the Gooner. So clearly there was something wrong. Also into the pits is Hunter. Gunnar goes to hard tyres. I wasn't aware of any contacts or anything that Hunter is involved in, but he is into the pits. So is Leonidas as well. So Hunter's gone to fresh softs, Leonidas has gone to fresh mediums, but the Gunnar on fresh hards. There is a long, long way to go in this race. Those three drivers are not out of this at all. It's a long, long way to go. It looks like Chris is probably underfueled for the race. His light is red. Karting King coming under attack. He's got that place back from Smolos. But Smolos so brilliantly won the cutback. Got to give it to the drivers. Following through this really tight section, no contact being made in what we've seen. It's very impressive. So, yeah, so you could expect the hard drivers to be pitting somewhere around lap 16, 17, which in reverse would see the medium drivers pitting somewhere around lap 12, 13. If he sets the fastest lap, we do have a sector 3 yellow. So McLaren of Swanee spin round at the final corner. So Big Willie gets ahead of Smolos. Since he made that move on Karting King, he's dropped back 2 places afterwards. And I could tell you, I know we're only on lap 3, but that is probably because the softs are starting to go already. I mean, it's only my opinion, but I do think the softs are basically useless around here. Swanee has another spin in the McLaren. Just allowing those three at the back to catch up a little bit to the driver. Such a shame for Gunnar. It's the tiniest little bit of contact that sent him into the wall as well. It was a fleeting kiss in the wind, sort of thing. It's alright, I won't take up poetry, you're fine. So, Chris keeping Whoopi honest though, staying just 1.5 seconds behind. So a pretty nice place to be, if I'm honest. It's not close enough that you're burning up your tyres, but you're still close enough that an undercut may come into it later on in the race. I say undercut because obviously being on mediums, Chris will pit several laps before Whoopi, so the undercut's a genuine possibility here. Obviously Whoopi will then come out on fresh mediums and be able to attack Chris, but for however long it takes for the tyres to cross back over again. Oh, and Whoopi! That was Karting King, sorry, I thought I was watching Whoopi. Karting King spun it. And he recovers just in front of Smolos, but surely Smolos is going to get the run down the straight. No, he doesn't. No. And so, Karting King quite miraculously holds on to P4. Oh, Smolos has got the chance at the inside. Oh, careful, guys. Yeah, brilliantly done by the pair of them. So, through this really tight section now, out onto the straight. This time Smolos will have the benefit of DRS. Surely this time. Karting King weaves once, which he's allowed to do. Well, they're going to catch, they're going to reach the corner, and Smolos is going to, I think he was trying that cut back again, but I think Karting King knew what he was doing this time. Oh, what happened to Karting then? There was a bit of contact between them, but he didn't seem to spin when he had contact, so something gone wrong there. But Karting King then drops to P6, Junkie up to 5, Smolos now in P4. The gap between the front two switched increased a bit up to 2.4. It's Still going. Just struggling a bit for a battle at the moment. Junkie is catching the back of Small Loss, so I think this is going to be our most likely one. As I say that, Leonidas. Well, Hunter comes into the pit for the second time. That is an indication there that of how quick those softs are dying. Small Loss here against Junkie Emperor. So this is softs on Small Loss card that are 4 laps old. Against hards that are 4 laps old, and I don't think there's going to be much that Small Loss can do to defend these hards. So here we go down the straight. Go on board with Junkie. Nowhere near close enough at the moment, but look at Junkie's energy, 97%. Small Loss on 14. So Junkie's not seeing the light on the back of the car yet, but his Small Loss is very close to having that red light flashing. So it's like Junkie just happy to stay on his back, just get the DRS, make him use some energy. He's not in any massive rush to get that move done, although he is now coming under a bit of pressure himself from Karting King, whose light is flashing. And it looks like Swanee's been round again. And set to 1. And, that's going to allow the Gooner to gain a place. Back up to P8 now. I would absolutely love to think that the Gooner could go the whole race on that set of hards, but well, we'll see, or it's possible, but if anybody can do it, the Gooner can. So we'll take a look at that later in the race. So Karting King has got past Junkie Emperor. So look at the way that Small Loss always moves straight to the left-hand side to defend. He now retakes the racing line a bit further down the straight. He's allowed to do that, so effectively it's called a weave. So what you're allowed to do is you can move from the racing line across to the left in order to break the toe. Then naked toe. You can then move back to defend the racing line, as long as the car behind you isn't alongside, of course. But that's it. You cannot then move left again. That would then constitute excessive weaving. So clearly Small Loss is very much aware of that rule, and oh, Karting King comes in to attack him. It's quite late into an attack there. Here's another DRS zone. Oh, and look at Junkie Emperor on the outside. He's flying out. They're going to be free side by side again. Small Loss looked to me like he just braked. Oh, then he has contact with KK. I think there might have been a bit of contact between the Red Bull and Ferrari as well. That's twice we've seen free of breadth into that corner, and twice there's been some contact. It's also allowed Sam in the Aston Martin to get right onto the back of this group as well. For me, Small Loss is at the point now on those softs that they are dead. He's not going to be doing many more laps under that. As Junkie Emperor, with the aid of the DRS, gets through into P4. Karting King runs a bit wide. That makes Small Loss have to attack the brake a bit harder. And comes under attack from Sam. Small Loss moves to the inside to defend. Comes back to the racing line. And keeps the position in the end. So, surely he's completed 7 laps on the soft. Surely this is the last. Sam doing everything he can to try and get a move here, and I think, oh, they have a tiny little touch. Just takes the pace out of Sam's car a little bit. It's across the DRS line. Just edging ahead now. So Smallhouse will look to defend it, but surely Sam, yeah, well done, gets the move done, and up into P6 for Sam in the Aston Martin. So as Whoopi sets the fastest lap of the race on his 8-lap old hards. Now, he's just extended that lead to Crisp to 3.5 seconds. Still make it interesting on an undercut later on. He just seems to be gaining about a second every 3 laps at the moment. Captain King staying close enough to Junkie Emperor to put some pressure on. So, this is panning out I'd hoped. It was a shame that the guys down from 8th to 11th had to pit so early on the first lap, but well, Die Hard didn't, but he had a few spins, which just drops him down there. But still been a really good race, and say there's every bit of me is hoping that the Gooner can push those hards out. If you had to ask me for a definitive answer, I would probably say it's not possible, but he will make that judgment call later on in a race. It'll probably be a case of looking to see at which point do they reach like 40% wear or 50% wear, and then looking at how many laps you got left and saying it could be possible, or it's definitely not possible. So, still remains our closest battle, just want to stay with it. Oh, Die Hard Swanee's just gotten ahead of Smallhouse, who spun it. I tell you what, he spun it on the final corner when I would imagine he was probably heading for the pits in a way. I think he's got a puncture. I'm not sure, I can't see anything obvious that's just a puncture, but he may well have done. And just to kick him in the nuts a bit more, he picks up 5 seconds as well. Speeding in the pit lane. Let's get back to Karting and Junkie then. So I think maybe Smallhouse has just done 1 lap too many there on those soft tyres, and fortunately on what was effectively the final corner before pitting, it's cost him. I can't be 100% sure, but I think he may have had a puncture. Sorry, let's get off of the cockpit cam, it's extremely loud for me. So, Karting is back ahead of Junkie Emperor then. Into P4, and these guys look like they could keep battling like this all the way. As our first medium runner pits, Chris is into the pits from P2 and puts on the hards that are surely going to take him to the end. Where does he come out? He's exiting there, my word, what a place to come out. Right on Karting King and Junkie Emperor, who are battling in a way. He needs to get those hards up to temperature, so I'd imagine Junkie will come through here. Oh, I can't believe he's trying to race side by side with cold, hard tyres. He does it well, though. I'll tell you what, you've got to give it to Chris there. That is impressive, being able to hold off a driver. You've just come out the pits. There didn't look to be anything dodgy going on. That looked like fair racing. Sam gets ahead of Junkie Emperor. So Chris may well have felt that that was important, because obviously he's looking to see if he can get some sort of undercut on Whoopi here. Whoopi's got quite a lot of laps left to do on these hards, so that's what Chris is looking at doing. And obviously if he'd have got stuck behind a train of cars, he would have just killed it straight away, as Emperor gets back ahead of Sam. He can continue battling though through the final corner. And oh, and that's Chris. Oh, Chris has dropped it and hit the wall. Surely he has wing damage. He's into the pits. He's got damage. Ah, oh, what a shame. What a shame. It would have been so interesting to see whether the undercut worked later on when Whoopi had to pit. That's actually going to really hurt Chris, not just because he's having to take an extra pit stop, but because all he can do is put on a fresh set of softs, which means he'll have to pit again as well. As Leonidas goes through on him. That really, really hurt Chris's race. It's so unfortunate, Chris. I thought you did brilliantly holding off Junkie Emperor when you came out of pits. I didn't think that was even possible. So fair play to you on that. So unlucky. So that does mean, unfortunately, that Whoopi is, to be quite honest, miles in the lead. He's 11.8 seconds ahead of Fitz, who's in turn the same amount of time ahead of Carton King. So the top three are now very spread out, and you would think, you know, safety car dependent. If all these 11 finishers finish and we don't have a safety car, then Whoopi is pretty much coasting now to victory. He's not the type of driver to make mistakes, so, or at least not unforced errors in a way. So I expect him really to coast now. Obviously Fitz finds himself in a great position. It has meant, because it allowed Carton King to get away from the group when Chris defended that, it has, sorry to say it, Chris, but you did kind of ruin our battle that was going on. We had a three-way battle going on, but it spread them out a little bit, and I think now in hindsight, Chris, if he could have the race over again, would hold on at least one more lap before making that stop. But it's one thing, I don't know if there's any way that they could include it in the game. I know you can look at your MFD to see what position it says you'll come out in, but it doesn't give you an idea of how close you're going to be to other drivers when you come out the pits. So whether that's somewhat looking forward to 2023, it's a long way off yet, but looking forward to 23 if that's something Codemasters could look at. I know at the moment red flags is their #1 priority for the next game, including those, because it's the biggest asked thing. It's the biggest asked for thing by the fans of the game. So, right. So the situation now is obviously going around to pit the end of lap 1 for these hards. I still think it's probably impossible for him to push them out, but if he can, he's got Sam and Junkie ahead of him. Obviously Junkie's teammates, he's not too worried about that, but as Chris now sets the fastest lap of the race on the softs. But yeah, you definitely get ahead of Junkie and Sam. And it would probably be pretty close to Carton King, who's running in P3. So let's take this chance though to maybe look at a few of the drivers that we haven't seen so much. So Swanee, as we said, has had a few spins in the first half of this race. It's just dropped him down a bit, but since he he's been going pretty well. He's back up to P7. See, another one that had to pit to those hards really early in the race, so we'll see. Again, he's another one like the Gooner. We'll see if it's possible for them to push them out. Said it's a long time since I actually did Miami, so I can't remember what the weather was like on hards. But it does seem to me like it would be an extremely tall task. Miami for me was one of... Ooh, just gets a bit out of shape again there, Swanee. Recovers that one pretty nicely. Yeah, I have to say Miami was one of those tracks, as soon as it came out, and Miami was included, I jumped on it in time trial. Did a couple of races in pre-season there because people wanted to do it, but since then I've just not touched the track again at all. So I tend to be spending most of my free time practicing the tracks that are next in my league races rather than touching the tracks that are basically pointless for me. It's moment. There is some movement in Junkie Emperor is catching the back of Sam at the moment, but it's very gradual. He's just lost 3 tenths for a few corners, but as you can see, Sam is close. That gap isn't at 1.8, it's dropped now to 1.4. So, yeah, clearly Junkie just gradually catching Sam. Junkie does have a penalty, of course, but that is a genuine battle. They're on the same strategy exactly, so on the same tyres, same length of use. So as you would have seen, just got removed from my own party. It's very nice. Back into one now. Otherwise the drivers would have been able to hear me. So Junkie in then. He's switched to the mediums. Which is about when we thought. We said lap 16, 17. He's done 15, so just a little bit earlier than I suggested, but I think that probably is because he was catching the back of Sam. I think he's looking for an undercut. It's a long lap here, as you're seeing race laps around about 131-ish. So these longer tracks are the ones where you're more likely to be able to do an undercut to obviously the shorter tracks like Austria, where the overcut is king. So I raced Silverstone last night, which is a similar length track to Miami, and I went for the overcut. I was thinking about pitting. The guy directly ahead of me pitted that I just caught up to, so I stayed out, thought I'd go for the overcut, and it didn't work. He passed me just as I was coming out of the pits, and I expelled quite a bit of energy trying to do it as well, so given by the fact that it's a similar length track, Gooner, Sam. Let's go down to Leonidas. We've not really seen Leonidas at all. Obviously, Junkie Emperor there pitted, stopped what was going to be our battle because he was the one closing up. Might have given us a battle, but stopped that. So Leonidas surely heading for the pits at the end of this lap or the next. Either this lap or next. He started on the mediums and he's making the stint as long as what a hard stint would be. So generally screams that someone doesn't like hard tyres, and so he's going to want to try and do the least amount of laps on hards that he can. If he really doesn't like them, I wonder if he's going to try and push these mediums so far that he can come out on softs to finish the race. His teammate's right on the back of him now. I thought he'd get out of the way on the long straight that's coming up. I wouldn't be trying to get out of the way in these corners, just carry on through the corners. Oh, he gets out of the way there. Yeah, for me, no. I'd have just lifted slightly on the straight and let him through rather than there. But it didn't work too badly, to be fair to them. It worked okay. So I just think the Leonidas maybe lost a bit more time than they needed to. But yeah, there's no harm there. It worked okay. Let's go to Hunter then. We pretty much haven't seen him. So that is, unfortunately, that is Whoopi in the background. That's coming round to lap Hunter, although Whoopi is due into the pits any moment. Whoopi's got that sort of gap though that he actually could deliberately push out the hard tyres to move on to the softs in order to try and consolidate the fastest lap as well. He's just got the gap that he can do that, so we may find Whoopi stays out longer on those hards than you'd expect. Definitely got some pit stops coming up. So, taking a good look at Hunter. He's driving well, looking very tidy, looking good. He's just had the bad fortune earlier on the race. That's the only reason he's down at the back. Just had a bit of bad fortune, but one of those. He knows that 11th place still brings you good points. Here, as we've got a spinner, and I think it's Sam. It is Sam, so the Gooner all of a sudden goes back into P4. Recovers it, Sam, just before Swanee can get through. Whether his tyres are lit up or not. He's at the point now where he's on 18 lap old hards. He could have pitted for mediums, and probably now wishes he had. But, it seems to me like a lot of these hard starters are really determined to keep going. As these two are battling now. Swanee making a move around the outside, has the DRS. And it's going to reach the corner first. So Swanee up into P5. That's a genuine position change. And Hunter into the pits, and the game's stuck him on intermediate tyres. Oh dear. I can literally hear him shouting from here, and I'm in Devon. So anyway, looks like Swanee has consolidated that place, but Junkie now back up onto the back of Sam, which is who he was catching before he pitted, and he's now overtaken because of Sam's spin. Am I right there, or was it Carton King that Junkie was catching? No, it can't have been. It can't have been. So let's go to Vox, just confirm. Those intermediate tyres, as I say, I can literally shout in at the game, at the TV. So he was our leader. It's of course, again, we've barely seen. He's so far out on his own. It's been much reason to watch him. So see. It's all in his head. Look, he's thinking. Yes, he knows that as long as he keeps it on track, and doesn't have any silly moments, then the victory's his. But I'm telling you, he's pushing these. I'm sure the strategy at the start was not hard to softs. I'm sure it was hard to mediums. But the fact is, because he's got this gap, he can push these hards out. Come in for softs whenever the hards get to a point where he has to. and then go for the fastest lap of the race. Sam went to soft tyres. He's going to have to push that. They're going to be dying by the time he gets to the end. Sam, so let's go to Big Willie then. Another driver we literally haven't seen all race because he's been completely solitary on his own. Kyron King has brought the gap down to him by about 10 seconds since he got into P3. So sorry, not 10 seconds, it was 11 something, so about 5 seconds, my apologies. So Hunter actually stayed out on those intermediates. I wonder if that's a bit of an FU moment to the game. Saying, you stuck me on him, so I'm going to bloody use him. Oh, that was Big Willie running very, very wide. All the top three here, well, and Die Hard Swanee, all four of them absolutely determined to push these hards until the point they can go on softs to the end, which is now really. It's lap 22, 23 to 29, that's 7 laps, which is about what we've been seeing from anybody that's used softs. About 7 laps is about right. Chris is currently on 10 laps. Probably doesn't want to pit, but he's going to have to. The wheel blow up. So that's enough for seeing Big Willie. Oh, don't this lighter go as well? 2 in 1 night. Just about worked. Because I've been using the toaster to light my fags. Can't get more lighters. So Daguna ruins our illusion that he may be able to get to the end and pits for softs. Is that rain? It is rain, isn't it? Maybe that's why Hunter pitted to Inters there. Maybe it wasn't the game that put him on there, and perhaps he knew it was going to rain. In which case, it makes you think, well, on earth is Daguna pitted? You're expecting rain. In comes Chris. In the Florida heat. How is it raining? Chris switches to Inters. It's clearly too early. It's way too dry, but it depends how quick it happens. Well, now we know why these guys have been so determined to push their hard tyres out. Because they were waiting for the rain. I'd like to know how much wears on them. But it does make you wonder why the Gooner's pitted. Well, perhaps he didn't know it was going to rain. The Red Bulls is, I think that's Hunter. Oh, my apologies, Hunter. It's not Hunter, it's King. It's Carton King. Carton King comes into the pits. If they all start dying, I mean, he might be coming in because he just damaged a car. I don't know. But what does Swanee do? No, Swanee's staying out, as is Junkie. So they don't think it's wet enough yet. As Karting King then puts on a fresh set of softs. Does know it's raining, right? Perhaps he just don't think it's going to get wet enough before the end of the race. That's the only thing I can think. Chris has been in. He's got intermediates. Who was it that I just saw pits? Sam. So he's gone to intermediates. Small Loss is now pitting. He's only on 14 lap old hard, so there's no way he'd be pitting for inters unless he genuinely thought it was going to be getting wet enough. He's serving a penalty while he's there. So on go the inters for Small Loss. Who will be next? Where's Whoopi? He's running a sector 1 still. In his 25th lap of the race on hard. So in comes Big Willie then. So this is our first front runner to make a move. I want to stick with him. I just want to see what tyres are going on. It's soft tyres. Okay, clearly the field is split between people that think it's going to get wet enough and people that don't. I really wish I could see how worn his tyres are. Green flags ahead. Knowing, well, I can't see anything that's happened there. But Swanee now in. He's put intermediates on. So the field is completely split on this. There's now 5 guys on intermediate tyres. I'm just looking at the gap between Leonidas and Chris. Leonidas on hards. Well, Chris has come back in. I think he's switching off for the inters then. He's back into the pits. Unless he was the one that caused the yellow flag. So into the pits is Whoopi. He's obviously reacting to Fitz. No, Chris has gone back to slick tyres. He's put on softs. Whoopi puts on softs. Could be interesting if this track suddenly gets wet. Yeah, then. Imagine the rain would have killed any chance of fastest laps going in. Can't be sure. It might have done. Maybe more. Even if it hasn't, it may be more a case that people aren't going to even bother trying to do fastest laps when it's raining. It's just not worth the loss in points if you crash, I suppose. What's happening here? So the Gooner has ended up back up into 3rd place. Because Karting King pitted. So Ferrari's now running P3, P4. It's suddenly turned into a very good race. Oh, we've got a retirement. This could completely change the race. Sam is out somewhere. It's on the pit straight, I think. No, he must have been in the pits. Surely Sam didn't just retire in the pits. Surely he didn't retire in the pits. We've got 3 points on offer. This track is starting to look a bit damper now. It's still not particularly wet, but it does look damper than it did a lap or so ago. This is Karting King then, who's caught the back of Junkie Emperor. Emperor on mediums. Oh, Karting runs very, very wide, and into the pits he comes. Well, 3 laps remaining. This has got to be a switch to inters, otherwise he wouldn't have come in. So he switched to inters, he thinks the track's there. Problem is, he needed a new wing as well. It took a long time to pit. Thing is, with 3 laps, are they going to make that much difference to make that time back up? Since that gap between Whoopi and Fitz became around 16 and 17 seconds, Fitz has kept it steady there. It's not really lost anymore. I'd say that the recovery drive from the Gooner after the first lap has been brilliant, and certainly puts him in with a shot of driver of the day. The Whoopi as well is obviously in with that chance as well. Just look, I'm looking at trying to find a gap. So Swanee to Emperor looks like the most useful one. 11.8, 11.3, 11.1. We're into the 10s on the gap. So clearly, right, intermediates to the right tire to be on now. The problem is for Karting King, he's made that he's made the switch, but he's 11 seconds back from Swanee, who's also on inters. And in turn, Swanee's got to catch up 10 seconds on Junkie, so I think Karting King may kick himself at the end of this. We'll see. But every corner now, Swanee is taking chunks of time out of Junkie Emperor. And we still have another lap after this one. Look, he's down to 7 seconds already. He's absolutely flying up onto the back of Junkie now. Who else could be helped by this? Small loss. Chris opted to come back in and put the softs on. It looks like that's going to bite him in the bum. DRS is disabled. The track is officially wet. Oh, Chris spins it. Oh, he reversed quite hard into the barrier behind him. Might give him some extra damage. That was Whoopi, I think, going through. Just lap him. Right, here's Die Hard Swanee. That's Junkie ahead of him. Remember, this gap was almost 12 seconds. It's down to 2.2. They still have another lap to go. They've still got to cross the line. It's less than a second now. Junkie has a penalty in a way, so Die Hard Swanee has won this position. You've got to say that this recovery from Die Hard Swanee has been outstanding too. So we've got to add him to the list of possible driver of the day from the commentator. I believe they vote for it in the league in a way, so it's I always give my commentators driver of the day as well. 7 seconds to the Gooner, probably too much. Make that 4 seconds. He's just taken 3 seconds in a corner. Another half a second. Sector 3, yellow. Was that Whoopi? No, it wasn't. So I've got to switch to the lead there. So Whoopi crosses the line to win the inaugural Miami Grand Prix. Look at Swanee bearing down on the Gooner. Can he nick this podium? Big Willie Fitz heading for the line. Let's just quickly move to this. But it looks like Swanee has gotten ahead. Big Willie Fitz takes P2. Die Hard Swanee has overtaken the Gooner for P3. And I'll tell you what, that has just cemented my commentator's driver of the day to Die Hard Swanee. Oh, what's just happened to the Gooner? Is it the barrier? got Carton King. Was bearing down on him. He's recovered it quick enough though to go in there, and he will take P4 and P5. Carton King. P6 for Junkie Emperor. So strong day for Ferrari. 4 for 6th. Small loss. Running in P7. So just looking down, Hunter. It's been. Oh no, they finished. Sorry, they've already finished. I was about to say that he might catch Chris, but obviously he has to do a lot less in the end. Small loss then to come across the line, takes P7. I can't see penalties now. I don't think it would have been more than 3 seconds. So Leonidas will cross the line and take P8 with Chris P9 and Hunter P10 in the end. But without a doubt, my driver of the day goes to Robert Swanee, who recovered quite brilliantly to a P3. The Gooner as well, his recovery drive from the start was outstanding. After the very, what I must say, was an extremely tiny bit of contact at the start, but it did make the difference for the Gooner. Yes, now Hilly, hello Oozers. And we just seen, sorry bud if it felt like I was annoying you. And Slam. Yeah, I think it was Whoopi, which usually would mean we got driver of the day, but if you watch the race back, I've got to give it to Swanee. That was quite amazing from Swanee. A dominant performance like that would usually get you driver of the day, Whoopi, but on this occasion, you'll get many more chances for that. And you may well get voted it in the Discord in a way. But for my commentators one, I'm going to give that to Die Hard Swanee, who's done an outstanding job. Okay, just to confirm then, Whoopi wins the race by 22.5 seconds. Completely dominant. Outstanding performance. Big Willie, don't you need a fastest lap for a Grand Slam? Whoopi. Big Willie Fitz, B2. Great result from him and a great drive. Well done, 2 Fits. Driver of the day, P3 fills the podium. The Gooner in 4, outstanding recovery drive. Carton King consistent throughout, P5. Junkie Emperor P6, Small Loss 7. Leonidas 8, Chris in 9, and Hunter finishes P10. Chris also takes the fastest lap of the race with a 31.071. Sam, strange DNF. I think he retired in the pits. It looked like he was just on the pit straight on my graphic, but when we got to the pit straight, there wasn't anything there. So I think he retired in the pits, which is a bit odd. When the worst possible scenario was 11th place. So there you go. No worries, mate. Respect it. Thanks for the good cons again, mate. No worries, man. I love doing it. I think you might. Okay, guys, quick summary of the race. Well, a little bit of contact at the start. Probably ruined a little bit the potential battle for the victory. But it was the tiniest little bit of contact, though. And, you know, these things happen, so never mind on that one. But it led to a great race. The recovery from the Gooner and Swanee were outstanding. Swanee in the end ended up on the right tyres on the intermediates, which allowed him to get past the Gooner for P3. Overall, the standard of racing was very good. A lot wrong in that. The battles that we had were good as well. So a few individual mistakes, a few spins around the track. I thought Lance was, Hunter was nuts when he put on intermediates on, or that the game had messed him up, and then it suddenly started raining, and I realised what he'd done. Yeah, well done to the 10 drivers that finished. I really don't understand what's done at the time, if it was in the pits, but that's a shame. But never mind. Let's hope for next week, though. Let's get some more drivers on the grid. If anybody's watching this, or anybody watches it back, that was supposed to be driving tonight and didn't turn up, or didn't react to the sign-up, at the very least, please react to the sign-ups, even if you're signing up to say that you can't race. It's so frustrating for the owners and the admins that when they spend their time sorting all these things out for everyone, and then people just can't spend, what does it take, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever, just to react to a post. You know, come on, pull your finger out, guys. Anyway, rant over. Let's move on. So, round 6 next week. I'm not 100% sure where we are. Yeah, and you repeat. Yeah, it is, mate. And obviously, as you know, I do the role in Arc, and it honestly, there is nothing that annoys me more than people not reacting to sign-ups. It's the most frustrating thing going. But anyway, that's that done. Let's look. Sorry, I'm confused myself, mate. I'm chatting and doing this. I'm trying to look at the calendar. So next week is let's see, España. So we head to Spain next week, which always proves to be a good race. So we'll go there. Last 2 Spain races I've been involved in have both been rain, full wet to intermediates to dry. Will it be the same again next week? We'll find out. Same time, 8 PM next week, guys. Thanks to everyone that's watched live. Thanks to everybody that watches us back, as always. It's a really big help for me. It's a great publicity for the league, and it's you know, if anybody watches that would like to join the league, please get in contact with HRF1, that's Hybrid Racing F1, or myself, Arc Hilly. On Xbox, I'm Arc Hilly, #9505. You can always drop me a message as well, and I can get you in touch. Lovely. All right, then, guys. Thanks very much to everyone, and good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekends, and I'm going to get on some time trial now. See you later.